Despite the ongoing lockdown, taxis and cabs are allowed to operate, and it wasn't difficult to get one on my way to the airport. There were many police checkpoints on the way to the airport. I just showed my flight ticket and the police didn't ask anything further. Note that depending on the traffic, it can take even 15 to 20 minutes to clear each checkpoint, so plan your ride to the airport with sufficient time buffer. With hardly any traffic on the road otherwise, the rest of the ride was smooth and I was at the airport well in time. I also wanted to reach there earlier than usual as I had to do my RT-PCR test. Note that QR code is mandatory on the report only if you're flying out from India. At the airport, the COVID norms about social distancing and masks are very well implemented. And in case you need to take a printout of the boarding pass, that's contactless as well. Really nice. Having a hard copy of the documents is better because when requested, you can just hand over the documents instead of your phone or tablet, for example. With only a few flights operating, there were only a handful of people inside the airport. Restaurants selling snacks and coffees are open as well. Check-in process seemed like a breeze due to only a few number of passengers. Oh, by the way, this first one is actually only a domestic flight to Mumbai, so only my photo ID and RT-PCR test report was checked here.
So check-in is finished now. I'm going towards security. It's quite smooth. So I just got done with the security. It's always confusing with the security. The guy who was before, he wanted me to take out only the laptop, but after the security, the guy wanted all the electronics out. So anyway, I had to go through it again. But otherwise also it was quite seamless. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's all you need. And because of the less number of people, it's all very systematic.
Many of the seats are blocked to maintain social distancing. So it took me a while to find a place to sit comfortably. And in the meantime, something strange caught my eye.
I can't help but notice how many people are actually not wearing the mask properly. They either have it between the nose and the upper lip. I don't even know how the mask is not falling off. Or they have it between the lip, or the chin and the neck. Both the cases, it defeats the purpose of wearing the mask in the first place. And of course, when someone is having food, they are exempt. But I also see that I'm here in the waiting area. That's how I'm just observing this. That many people are just using the food they've had maybe 20 minutes ago as an excuse to not wear a mask. That is also, I think, not so correct. Yeah, you should wear it properly, and you should wear it properly. Yeah.
Speaking of food, I got something for myself from the airport lounge. Yes, they are open, but only takeaway is available. That is, no dine-in. I also saw sensor-based contactless water bottle refilling stations. It's such a fantastic initiative during this pandemic, and also it'll cut down a lot on the plastic waste. The boarding area had the same seating and COVID social distancing norms in place, and it all felt very well organized.
So a few minutes remaining before we start boarding, and everyone has been given this face shield, a mask, sanitizer. So even if you forget to get one of these face shields, you will get one before boarding. And of course, goes without saying, it's mandatory for everyone to be wearing this all the time.
However, as soon as the boarding began, it seems people forgot about COVID. I found a way around the crowd and tried to avoid them as much as I could while fixing my PPE and getting ready to board. As expected, most of the flights flying these days are not fully full. Originally, I had a window seat at the wing of the craft, but while others were still boarding, I was offered a seat at the emergency exit. Saying yes to this offer was a no-brainer as these seats usually have much better legroom. Some final adjustment to the face shield and we were ready for takeoff. It was a 1-hour flight and a quick nap later, I could already see Mumbai outside the window. After collecting the luggage, on the way out of the airport, there was a quick document check as well. Just so you know, the Mumbai Airport also has a RT-PCR test center, and based on my past experience, the centers at the airport are the most reliable. If you're new to the city and don't know anyone there, you should always opt for a prepaid taxi from inside the airport itself. Additionally, Mumbai Airport has a hotel, and you can use that as well in case you have a long layover, or if you're coming from a different city and want to arrive at the airport well in time. This is the exit, as well as the waiting area. If you've arranged for a pickup, this is where you should wait. The letter is for your reference.
What surprised me during this flight was that the Arogya Setu app was not checked, not even once. And there were people who were coughing and sneezing, and not just a mild cough, they were like really coughing. So I'm a little surprised with the level of, or the extent of control. And right now I'm out of the airport, just waiting to be picked up. The plan is that I'll have to go in quarantine because that is the rule, and we'll see how it goes.
The taxi interior is all modified these days to cater for the COVID and social distancing requirements. When inside the cab, I was required just to wear a mask, but I chose to keep the face shield on as well. I've been to Mumbai countless number of times and I cannot remember if I've ever seen the streets this empty. And by the way, this is the rush hour right now. To my surprise, a wedding function was in full swing when I reached the quarantine facility. Anyway, I checked in and got ready.
Once I go in the room now, I'm going to be locked for the next few days. So
14 days to be exact, confined to a room. I was just hoping that it's a nice one at least. Alright, let's find out. Wow, this is massive, and it's even better than what I was hoping for. Normally during solo travel, I hardly care about the room because I'm usually there just to sleep at the end of the day. But this day was different, just like how most of everything about travel is these days. So it was a nice feeling to know that the room appeared so nice and comfortable. By the way, besides the room tour, irrespective of how fancy the hotel may seem, I always check for spy cams when I'm checking in. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video about that as well. You'd be shocked to know about my past findings. Also, let me know if you want me to share more details about the quarantine experience.
So the first leg of the travel is finished, and based on the guy at the reception, he said there's no other procedures or nothing else that needs to be done today. So I'm gonna call it a night. Oh, I can actually remove this now. See you in the next one.
I created Rumor Realm because I believe in creating videos that help you travel worldwide within your budget and without compromising on safety. And besides helping you travel more for less, I also want you to know about my life at sea working on mega container ships as a merchant marine engineer. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Keep exploring. This is Rahul for Rumor Realm, and I'll see you in the next one.